rotten day. I'm so tired of messing up. Maybe I'll just go back to our box. Oh, there you are, Noah. I was wondering if you would help me with something. Well, I don't know, Granny. Seems like everything I try lately doesn't work. Maybe I'm just too young to help anyone. Too young to help? Oh, well, Noah, you may be too young to be the governor or lead the army, but there are many, many things you can do to serve. Are you sure, Granny? I mean, I keep on goofing up everything. Even the mice are laughing at me. So what do mice know? God uses whomever he chooses, and sometimes he chooses young folks. He does? Of course. There was David, and Daniel, and Samuel. Now there's a good one, Samuel. Oh, yeah, there are a couple books in the Bible called that. Why, yes. And First Samuel starts right off with the story. There was a man, back when Eli was the judge in Israel, whose name was Elkanah. He had two wives, one named Peninnah, the other Hannah. Two wives? Oh, yes, back then. Humans often had more than one wife. It didn't always work out well, though, as it didn't in this case, because Elkanah loved Hannah more than he loved Peninnah. Ooh, I'll bet that made Peninnah sad. Yes, it did, and so Hannah was sad, too, because she had no children. Peninnah had several, so she picked on Hannah, which made Hannah even more sad. Not a happy home, I guess. You guess right. Well, every year Elkanah and his whole family went to Shiloh, where Eli and his two sons oversaw the worship in Israel. The temple had not yet been built in Jerusalem, so the Ark of the Covenant was in a home at Shiloh. After the family finished their sacrifices and worship, Hannah went alone to pray. She was so upset that her lips moved, but no words came out. Eli saw her, and he thought she'd been drinking too much wine. Oh, well, that wasn't nice. Hannah said, "No, I poured out my soul to God in anguish." Eli answered, "Go in peace, my daughter, and may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked of him." And did God grant her request? He did. After Elkanah and the family went home, Hannah had a baby boy whom she named Samuel. When he was old enough to be without his mother, she took him to Shiloh and gave him to God. Samuel served God all of his life, and Hannah had 4 more children. Every year, when the family went to worship, Hannah brought him a little robe that she'd made. Samuel served even as a little boy? Yes, he helped Eli with the worship, and then one night... Oh, what happened? What happened, Granny? Well, Samuel was on his bed about to sleep when he heard a voice call, "Samuel! Samuel!" He got up and ran to where Eli was sleeping. He said, "Here am I, for you called me." Eli said he hadn't called and to go back to bed. This happened again, and then a third time. Eli finally realized that it was God who was calling the boy, so he told Samuel to go back and lay down, and if he heard the call again, he was to say, "Speak, for your servant is listening." Samuel did just that. And God spoke to him? Yes. You see, Eli's sons, Hophni and Phinehas, had been becoming more and more evil for a long time. Even though Eli knew, he did nothing to stop them. God had warned Eli, and now he gave Samuel a message for Eli, saying that he was about to punish Eli and his sons for this evil. The next morning Samuel got up and opened the doors as usual. Eli called him and said, "Samuel, my son, what did he say to you? Do not hide it from me. May God deal ever so severely if you hide anything he said from me." So Samuel told Eli what God had said. Oh, what did Eli do? Well, he wasn't happy about it, but he knew he'd done wrong, and he humbly accepted God's will. Sure enough, the message Samuel was given came true. So you see, God used a little boy for an important purpose. When Samuel grew up, he was highly respected because every word of prophecy he ever gave to the people came true. He was Israel's last judge and served as priest and prophet for the first two kings of Israel. Oh, so God does use young humans, and maybe even young puppets too. What did you want help with, Granny? Oh, come along and I'll show you. I am happy in the service of the King. I am happy, oh so happy. I have peace and joy that nothing else can bring. In the service of the King, in the service of the King, every talent I will bring. I have peace and joy and blessing in the service of the King.